guys, it's Luke for the Free Hammers here. Welcome to All the Gear, No Idea, the show that I do on weekends where you control the topics, you control the questions, and you control where the show goes. I've got the computer, I've got the internet. If you've not subscribed to it already, please do. But let's get on with the show. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are too. Hello guys, how are we doing? Welcome back to the Free Hammers. It's New Year Day, and let me start with wishing you all a happy New Year and 2022, and let's hope it brings a lot better than what we've had the last 2 years. I hope you all had fun last night and a good time. I enjoyed a nice chicken shish kebab and just chilled in front of the telly. Not a mad one, just nice relaxing because I've ate far too much food over the last couple of days. So yeah, it's done. 2021 is done, and let's hope, as I say, 2022 brings us more joy. Duncan says, afternoon, Luke. Happy New Year to you and your family and all your followers. And here's to a prosperous 2022. And Nick Craven says, Happy New Year, mate. Happy New Year to you too. And hello, Luke. How are you? I'm very, very well. I'm very excited for the game today. You know, I'm hoping that we can start the new year with a bang. And, you know, obviously with Man City, Arsenal going on before us, if Man City were to do us the favour, which you would expect, they've won 10 in a row, then we could win the Palace game and be only 1 point behind Arsenal, which would be absolutely fantastic for us. Let's just start with a couple of things that I've seen today. So I hope any of you guys seen this. I always forget where to put my head. This is from Jesse Lingard. I believe this morning, I believe he's put this up. Again, flirting with the club all the time in terms of, you know, constant little West Ham posts here and there. We all want him, you know, we all love him. We all would love him back. And there's always been this, he's not coming, he is coming, he's not coming, he's not coming. If he don't come, I'm not that bothered. But this is a man we know works. It's not a risk. It's not a gamble. It's what we're lacking massively. Who knows what's going to happen with that one? You know, there's all these rumours that he wants to stay. Will he stay? We'll see. We'll see, mate. Ian Smith says, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well, mate. Nick Craven says, have you been keeping up to date with the darts, mate? I have. I watched it the other night. Some fantastic drama and just, you know, the tension. Because I'm a big Mervyn King fan. 2 seconds, guys. 2 seconds. The battery's going to die. There we go. Sorry, the battery was going to die. Yeah, I'm a big Mervyn King fan. I know he's a bit of a Marmite player and a lot of players love to boo him. I've always loved Mervyn King because he always hits the 180s. So it's great to see him doing well. Big fan of him. I hope he can go a little bit further because, you know, back in the day, sort of 10, 15 years ago, he was a top player. Yep, Happy New Year to you, Luke. Sorry. If he's coming, then get it done. We don't want to be dragging on to goodness sake. The problem with it is we play Manchester United on the 22nd of Jan, I believe. So I don't think any deal will happen before then for Jesse, and it could be literally end of the window job. Would love it to happen. If it doesn't happen, I'm not heartbroken. But something has to happen. So some business does have to happen. El Ghazi from Aston Villa was mentioned for us to sign, but heard it was Cobbies. Yeah, I did read that on Twitter this morning, Gaza. Not for me. Never impressed me. Let's just say that anytime he's played against us, and I've watched him, he's not someone I go, ooh, I wouldn't mind him at West Ham, but no, not for me. As long as the price doesn't win the darts, I don't care who wins. Okay. So interesting stuff in terms of the transfer stuff. You know, there's conflicting stuff out there. You know, there's so many names linked, so many. Jonathan David, but we know that his agent apparently come out and says he's going to stay with Lille at least till the summer. You got Ake, Tarkowski, Nate Phillips. There's so many. There's more and more every day, and I'm sure you guys can name names as well. And then there's comments from David Moyes, which I've read, and I'm sure you've all read it, you know, where he comes out and he said, do we want players? Yes. Are we ready? No. what is Rob Newman doing then? Rob Newman's been there since the summer. He couldn't technically do anything until, but he knows a list of players, and him and Moyes must meet weekly, daily. I don't know. Must talk daily about, I've seen this player, Dave. Do you fancy this one? Bum, 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 bum. I can't see us doing nothing. I can't. I think there's a slight little bit of smoke and mirrors, and maybe a bit of Moyes sort of, calming our expectations, should I say. He doesn't want us thinking, West Ham are going to go and blow, 80 million on players. Well, there's definitely money there. We know there's money there. We know there's a few players that he would like to get out the door. Yarmolenko's, Masuaku's, even Fredericks, I believe, is also rumoured to be one of the ones that could be surplus. Even Diop as well, if we were to get 2 centre-backs in. I just don't know. I don't know. And the other thing that I said on the podcast the other day, didn't I? Me and Paul hopefully going to do a podcast tomorrow, guys, just putting it out there. Is I can't see that Kretensky comes in and doesn't buy anyone. Doesn't give David some money to buy a couple of players, because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't start on a good foot then, Kretensky. Straight away, it's another person who's come in and is not going to spend any money. This is not, I don't want that. We need someone who's going to come in and go, look, there is, for example, there is Jesse Lingard and there is Nate Phillips or whatever, or there is Tarkowski. And if it was just them two, I'd be quite happy. Yes, we need a striker. Or in a vice versa world, it's, there's your striker and there's a centre-back. If it was 2 good players that could go into the starting 11, and maybe a loan of a Hojsek or a Šišić or whoever, I don't know, then you go, okay, yeah, I'd rather that than 5, squad fillers. I'd rather have 2 that go straight into the 11 than 5 or 6 just filling holes. Nick said he's off to the night shift in mine. Mate, have a good show. Hopefully I can catch the game here in Australia at 3 a.m. I'm sure you will, mate. Luke, is Gallagher playing for Palace today? It's all very rumoured that he's not, and there's, it's very 50-50, the rumours that are out there, Gaza. I hope he doesn't play. Fantastic player, arguably one of the young players of the season so far. Top player, scored 2 goals against us last time. Probably, one of their main attacking threats. Zaha is back though for them. Out of interest, guys, for those of you that are interested, that is, sorry, not that one. That is the predicted lineups for today. I'm just going to remove your comment. So for them, Butland in goal, Ward, Tompkins, Guaita, I think that says, Mitchell, Schlupp, Hughes, Kiati, Ayu, Eduardo, and Zaha for them. And then our lineup is they're rumouring to say Masuaku will be starting, and I hope that is not true. I really hope that's not true, and I hope that Johnson is okay for that one. I see Newcastle made a formal bid for Trippier. Those I have my mate Sam on here all the time. And he's absolutely buzzing. He can't wait. This transfer window's huge. They've had so many years of, not being able to bring anyone in. They're really excited to see on who they can bring in. Trippier's a good player. We know that. Can take a lovely set piece as well. Better than the right back they've got. To be honest with you, they need a whole new back line, to be honest with you. The injuries to St. Maxim and Callum Wilson are not going to help them. But I'm sure they can get enough to get over the line. And the fact that, they've had so many games postponed, whether that's through genuine COVID or injuries, is up to you to decide. But I think they would just have enough. And I like Eddie Howe as a manager. I really do. There was a few years ago, you would have had him at West Ham, and there's a good chance that maybe, he can do well at Newcastle. And if Newcastle are to go where they are as a club, as predicted, that they're going to be, this big club and, be Champions League winning titles and stuff, he could put himself in good stead so that, when the time comes for Moyes to go, and Moyes could be there for 10 years, who knows? He's only 58, David Moyes. you know, you might look at someone like Eddie Howe, who would have managed at that top level then with Newcastle, and think, yeah, actually West Ham could be a decent club and we could be in a good position for him to take us. So I like him as a manager. I do. Sharky says, Happy New Year, Luke. My head is banging. I've been there, mate. I've been a young lad. I don't know whether you're a young lad or not, but yeah, I have been there. The only thing I used to hate about New Year is can be quite anticlimactical. I think, you know, from going out years, so say 17 to 30, I reckon I only had about 2 or 3 really good New Year night out, because they become very like, you feel you have to have a good time, and then it becomes quite forced, and then it's not as good. And the best New Year nights out have been when I think, oh, this is going to be pretty crap, and then you end up low expectations of it being a great night out. Definitely, we don't need any more squad fillers. We need starters for sure. They say Gallagher has an illness. Yeah, apparently it's not COVID, it's just illness. Newcastle need a whole team. Yeah, now there's a few there. I would have St Maxim. I would have Callum Wilson in West. I think Callum Wilson gets in West Ham's team. Newcastle need 11 players. I hope they go down. True Sharky. They will be paying over the odds for players. Yeah, I agree with you that, mate. But then they have got the money. And I do think a few players are sitting around. This is my fear with Lingard, and I know a few other channels, you know, sort of agree, singing off the same hymn sheet, is I think Lingard's sitting around waiting to see if Newcastle go down. If they go down, I think he'll be at West Ham in the summer. If they stay up, I think he'll be at Newcastle on a huge, huge salary. And I think that's all he cares about now. I genuinely do. And I'm not saying that as, you know, that he's a bad footballer or he's got a bad attitude. I think he's of a mindset of, I just want to earn as much money as I can. And that's no discredit to him, because he was fantastic for us, you know, and it's something we need. 33, not so young. I think after Moyes, our next manager will be... No, I can't see that, mate. Can't see that. I could be wrong. It depends what he does with his career now. Could be Kevin Nolan. You know, could be, you know, shaped himself up to under Moyes, which could be like 4 or 5 years under David Moyes. And you never know, one of them could take it. But I don't know, as an obvious candidate. And I like Scotty Parker as well. I think Scotty Parker's a good manager. You know, he's a hero at West Ham as well. I wouldn't mind him at the club if, you know, if he can get his team up. And you know, and stay in the Premier League. He's got to get a team up and stay in there. Then I'll be all over it, mate. All over it. We need City to win today. We definitely do. We'll be watching that game. Looking forward to that one. Hopefully they can do us a favour. But then we've got to win as well, mate. You know, it's not just, we can't keep relying on other teams to get the results for us. So hopefully we can do that. Hopefully City can win and we can win, and we're 1 point behind Arsenal, and hopefully Arsenal go on a little bit of a blip for a little while. Because, you know, they've hit their purple patch. They're fantastic. They're, you know, scoring lots of goals and beating teams quite comfortably. They need to go back on a blip again when we go for a purple patch again. But Luke, they can only spend so much. They said 100 million over 3 years. Yeah, you might be right there, mate. I'm not sure, though. I'm not sure. I think they could. I think it's more than that, mate. I'm not 100%. I'm sure my mate Sam said there's something, because they haven't spent so much money over, you know, so many years under Mike Ashley. They've actually got quite a big surplus where they can actually spend quite a bit of money. I could be wrong, though. I could be wrong. Arthur Cabral would be a great addition. Yeah, another one that's linked. Brazilian striker. Apparently we can get him, you know, reasonably cheap now, I believe, mate. So yeah, listen, I want a striker to come through that door. The club need it, and the fans need it for a lift. You know, the geezer could come in. It could be terrible. Who knows? You know, the amount of luck we've had with strikers over the years. You just don't know. But you want someone to come in. It'd be great if someone could come in and have the sort of impact as like a Diafra Sakho had. You know, go 14 games, 7 goals, something like that towards the end of the season. You know, someone like that guy at Watford, Dennis, looked, you know, would have done a job for us. The guy we're probably going to face today, Crystal Palace, Eduardo, another one. He would have done a job for us. But that's what you want. You want a striker to come in like I said, hopefully have that same sort of impact. You know, let's say he gets 15 Premier League games, he can get himself 7-8 goals. That would be dream world scenario. I see it mentioned a couple of channels about the Europa League squad. Obviously, it's very limited, you know, and someone needs to come out for someone else to go in. There's homegrown spaces there. So again, there's little games to be played in terms of, you know, that as well. Like, if we don't get rid of Yarmolenko, will they keep Yarmolenko on 145 grand a week and not have him in the Europa League team? I hope we can get some people out the door in January. I really do. But it's hard. It's hard because teams don't want to buy crap. Like, no disrespect to him, Yarmolenko is not good anymore. He's not good enough for Premier League. So no Premier League team's going to come in for him. I don't think it's going to be a mid team, and then will he want to go there? And that's the problem, isn't it? Father Stoneman says Gaza, Palace will be tough, but we can win. I'm sure we definitely can win. But yeah, it is going to be a tough game. You know, they're going to be in your face. They're not going to be as anywhere near as bad as what Watford were the weekend. So it is going to be tough. I hope we don't go 1-0 down again, because that, you know, that always hurts when we go 1-0 down. I hope that's not the case. But we will see. We will see. Let's have a look at our fixtures coming up. What's this? We can't keep making excuses for not being this right. That's right, mate. There's players out there. There are players out there. There's some gems that are out there that we need to go and find. We you know, otherwise, what has Rob Newman been doing? Surely he's, you know, as soon as Rob Newman walked through that door, it should have been, right, Rob, we need a striker, and probably the other real key position that we're lacking is a left back. Can you go and find him? And if not, like I said, what has he been doing? What has he been doing? I don't know what he's been doing. Keep your questions coming in, guys. It's going to be a very, you know, loose show, just to waste time, really, because I get bored waiting for the game, and it's nice talking to you lot. So yeah, keep your questions and comments coming in, and I'll read out everyone. So yeah, the fixtures coming up, obviously next weekend, Leeds United. In the cup, you know, competition. I want us to go a few rounds in. You know, it's always good. FA Cup's always fun. You know, usually the next games are around my birthday sort of time, so it's always good. The Norwich game, obviously now reorganised for Wednesday the 12th. You know, gives us some fixtures, and hopefully, like you look, if you were a West Ham fan, which we all are, you know, you would probably pick Leeds and Norwich, Norwich, Watford. Maybe Burnley as a teams you'd want to play. So, you know, after the Palace game, if we win Palace game, you know, you'd have two favourable fixtures in Norwich and Leeds that you'd hope we'd win. And then I'm hoping, you know, if we can win those two, you go into that Man United game. That Man United team can be got at. Yes, and I'm not scared of that Man United team. And, you know, we should have got something out of the game at home when Noble missed the last-minute penalty. But fixtures are definitely, you know, going a little bit favourable again. Obviously, we played Watford again. Leicester's a bit of a dodge game. It's always quite a tasty game between them. We usually give them a good game. Newcastle, who knows? As we've been discussing earlier in the show, what Newcastle team are we going to be facing? Are we going to be facing a Newcastle team with Ousmane Dembele, Lingard, Ronaldo, Mbappe? I don't know what Newcastle team we're going to be facing then, and what sort of form and what sort of impact their new signings will have. So it's a very hard one to judge. After that is Wolverhampton, a team that's, you know, did us a couple of weeks ago. I won't go too much further than that. There's no point. What else we got here? Sorry, I've jumped ahead a bit too much, guys, so I do apologise. Ajax have a striker who's scoring lots of goals. His name escapes me. He certainly has, mate. I heard Moyes is going to play Newman as striker. We've got to win today. We certainly have. Was that all Newman, Glenn? Paul Newman. Burnley had a real go at Man United. We can definitely win there. We definitely can, mate. We definitely can. You know, hopefully, maybe a couple of signings in by then. And, you know, there's rumours that Zuma could be back a little bit sooner. He might not quite be back for that game, But I'm hoping we can have a decent January with transfers and results, so that when Zuma comes back and Cresswell comes back, you know, they come back and they're like new signings, and we can really push on that last bit of the season if we're still in and around that top four, which we'll know in 5 or 6 games' time whether we're going to be there the whole season. At the end of the day, we're still fighting on 2 fronts for Champions League football. We've got top 4 hopes. Don't think we'll get there. I really don't. I just think we haven't got quite enough to get there. But we've got the Europa League as well. There's 2 things we're fighting for top 4 hopes. So let's hope, you know, one of them gets us, you know, through that glass ceiling that we all want to see. You know, in my lifetime, I want to say I've seen West Ham play Champions League football. You know, we might get to see us play Barcelona this year. Who knows? You know, we've got a tough tie against Napoli. But you know, I want to enjoy them nights. I want to sit. I want to feel that music and stuff. Guess I think we'll sign Gary Newman. Anything else, guys? It wasn't going to be a particularly long show, purely because obviously me and Paul will probably do a podcast tomorrow, and you know, we'll be talking about the Palace result, building up to the Leeds game and Norwich game and stuff like that. So if you've got any questions, guys, put them in the chat quickly. And then we'll talk about it. But any transfer news that comes up, I will be doing little videos and opinions. I love January because there's so much to talk about. You know, there's results and there's transfers. So keep locked into the channel, guys, and please get us out there. You know, tell your mates, tell your West Ham mates in the pubs. Have you seen the Free Hammers? You know, they're really close to 4K subscribers. Let's get them there. You know, we're so close, you know, getting there. We're never going to be the biggest West Ham channel. There's too many out there now. You know, you've got your West Ham Fan TV, Hammers Chat. Even Gonzo's second channel, you know, them channels are so big now and so illustrious that we're never going to be the biggest channel, but we like our smallness, you know. We like that it's intimate channel, you know. There's a few of us, we have a chat, it's good, and I do this for a laugh now. I don't do it for big things, you know. We're never gonna earn any money off this channel, and that's not the point, you know. The point is to just have a laugh and talk a load of rubbish about West Ham, basically. Come on, guys, anything else? Get your comments in, don't be shy. I'm going to go for literally another couple of minutes. Just want to do a quick video just to say enjoy the game today. Hope that Antonio can score a goal. I'm hoping to see a bit of Vlasic today as well. Obviously, after scoring his goal, you know, you want to see him in. You want to see him, you know, be given an opportunity. Ben Rama, probably his last game now until after the African nation, so you know, we're going to lose him. If he was to score today, that would be 3-3, and it'd be a shame to lose such a form player. Jared Bowen, obviously, been so good, and I'm hoping for big things from him today. Would love a clean sheet today as well. Would love a clean sheet, but am I wishing too much? I'm getting bored of the Lingard saga. If he comes here, then so be it. If not, we move on. I agree, mate. I'm not going to get upset about it if he doesn't come. I would love him to come, but if he doesn't come, I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to throw my toys out the pram. It's going to be a great year. Any side we get in the Europa League will be amazing. History in our new stadium. That's certainly right, Glenn. Thanks for the comment. I'm going to leave it there, guys, because like I say, there's not too much, and I don't want to like rehash over stuff. I'm optimistic about the transfer window. I genuinely don't believe that this new guy, Rob Krinsky, or whatever his name is, the new sort of sub-chairman, would come in with an investment and not buy anyone. We will definitely get someone. There's 2 domestic loans still sitting there as well that we could use. That I think we'll use at least one of those. So I don't think we won't sign anyone. And don't get, and this is me talking here, the one of the biggest sulkers and stress heads around West Ham. Don't get too disheartened if we haven't signed anyone and it's 15th of Jan. If we're 2 weeks in and we haven't signed anyone, don't get too disheartened yet, because I think a lot of our business might happen at the end. You know, around the sort of 20th mark, I think more business will happen then. I'm not in the know by any stretch of the imagination, but just from the toughness of the January transfer window and the way that it seems that David Moyes does his business, I wouldn't be surprised, you know, if it's later, a lot later in the window. In case there's any more comments, I'm just going to give it a few seconds to catch up, just in case there's any more comments from you guys. Yeah, enjoy the game today, though, guys. And come on, please, West Ham, please, come on, please do it. Please get that win. Get us right in there behind them. And Matt Rainey says, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Matt, as well. Thank you so much. Sorry I'm late, Keith. That's fine. I'm not going for too long, mate. It was literally a little bit of an improv video today to waste some time to take us up to the game, because I did get a bit bored. And I'll be back tomorrow. Me and Paul wants to do a podcast tomorrow. I know he's got a few things he wants to talk about in terms of transfers and stuff like that. Hopefully we're bringing you big news. Obviously I'll be back with a review as well of the Crystal Palace game. Hopefully it's a good review and not a bad review and me being annoyed. If it's a good review, it's game on again for Champions League. It really is, especially if the Man City Arsenal game goes for us, which I will be watching. Happy New Year all. JP, are you available? Are you available to come on? It would be nice to have you on, mate, if you're available. I've got a bit of time. I was going to wrap it up, but I'm always good friends with JP. I'll say Bowen 2-1 and Mikey, but Gallagher will stink if he plays. There's rumours that he might not play, so I pray that Gallagher's not playing. If Gallagher's in the starting lineup, I'll be putting a fiver on him to score any time. I think that would be license to make money. He's just, I don't know, he's always that good. Chat just started working madly. Always for you, dear boy. Give me 5. Right. I'm going to send the link to JP and get him on the show. Chat options is blocked for some reason. I don't think it's working on Twitter, mate. I don't know why. Something's happened with Twitter. Bear with me, mate. So let me just get JP on. It's always good to have a little chat with him. And, you know, I spoke to him on here for a little while. I need to give him the link. Keep the questions coming in, guys, for me and JP. I know JP likes answering some questions as well. And I'm sure he'll be doing a watch along later. So go check him out. I'm not going to do, watch alongs religiously like how JP does. Because I don't really get the time, which is a shame because I'd love to do them. But if my missus is working next week, the Leeds game, 2:00, then I'll do them. When she's here, it's just I can't be bothered with her moaning. Can you keep noise down? I can't be bothered with it. Who's Palace best player in your opinion? Don't think it's Zaza no more. It's Gallagher, mate. If Gallagher plays, fantastic. And I've said it on here, controversial opinion. If Chelsea were to come in for Declan Rice in the summer, let's say 100 mil or whatever, 90 mil, try to get a cut price deal, I'll say, okay, but I want Conor Gallagher as well. I want 90 million and Conor Gallagher. And I think, again, I put this question to everyone because I do mention this quite a lot. I could stomach that. I could stomach 90 million and Conor Gallagher. What about you guys? Let's put that out there. Oh, no, we'll ask that to JP when he comes on in a minute. Whether he could stomach that deal. I could. I personally could stomach that deal. I really could. The problem with overpricing in January is it ruins the other clubs. It certainly does, mate. You got players that are out of contract. Tarkowski, Lingard, for example. And you sit there and you think, come on, really, is 10 million better than nothing? And you get them off their wages, like for a Lingard or a Tarkowski, say for 10 million. But they need their players. Like Burnley need Tarkowski. That's just how it is. Would you take Maddison or Ward? Oh, mate, either. I'm a huge fan of both. I think Ward Price is far too, out of our price range. He's linked with Newcastle as well. I see. I know Sky Bet is a bit of a load of crap when they put the rumours in there, so people bump up the stuff. But I keep saying it. I've said it on the podcast a few times. We need to be looking to replace the quality. I'm going to let JP in.
Hoi hoi! Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah, happy New Year, mate. With Ward Price, I've been saying that we need to replace the quality of Cresswell. So someone like Ward Price would be fantastic, but he is well out of our price range in terms of player. I love him as a player, though. Fantastic player.
Oh, 100%, mate. He's one of the best England players around at the minute. You know, especially for his dead balls. I said in the preview, which not many people have watched at the minute, so go check it out, guys. Come on, it's been up for 2 days.
My previews have been really crap as well. Like,
and for the first time, mate, and for the first time, your preview was longer than mine.
Oh well,
it's only by 2 minutes. It's only 2 minutes, but your preview is longer than mine.
Oh, sorry, mate.
No, he's honestly James Ward-Prowse is an unbelievably good player. He's always been a threat. Always been a threat.
Yeah. I was going to ask. Someone asked me a question there about Declan Rice, and I was going to put it to you, mate. I said I would accept 90 million and Conor Gallagher. What about you?
Yes,
I could stomach that.
Again, as I said in the preview, Conor Gallagher was the reason why we got that draw at the start of the season. He was unbelievably good. Nobody ever knew who he was. I mean, obviously, a few people knew that he was on loan from Chelsea and all the rest of it, but other than that, it was just like, who is this kid?
Yeah,
he's run us ragged, and he's one of the reasons why Palace are doing so. It's one of the reasons, not the main reason, but one of the reasons why Palace are doing so well. 90 million plus him for Dex, though.
It's how much you rate it. Like, how much is Conor Gallagher? He's obviously got the England tax. He plays for Chelsea. Is he?
Or the Chelsea tax on top of that?
The Chelsea tax. Yeah. Are you looking like a £60 million player there?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
No, he is. But can he offer as much as Dex can? This is the thing. It's all well and good. It's all well and good looking at prices and all the rest of it. But at the same time, Gallagher doesn't offer as much as Declan Rice does.
No. But Conor Gallagher and 90 million to go and find a Rice replacement ain't bad, is it? And I don't want Dex to go. I don't want Dex to go. I don't. But he will. He will.
I know what you mean, but it's like looking for a grain of sand in a factory.
We're talking about one of the best players in the world in his position as well, Declan Rice. Do you know what I mean? You can't replace that. You can't.
No,
we never replaced Jimmy. Do you know what I mean? We never replaced
exactly.
Jimmy.
And that's the reason why I wouldn't take it, because the money would be very, very handy, but we would never have such a better side if we ever got rid of him. This is the thing.
It's risky business bringing in loads of new signings. I agree.
Yeah, look at what Palace did. Look at what Spurs have done. Well, the Spursy style a couple of times. What we did when we moved to the London Stadium.
What do you want then in the transfer window, mate? Let's carry on with the transfer, because it is that time of year now. It is open. Yep. What do you want, mate? And do you think we won't sign anyone? Do you go down this mantra of David Moyes? We won't sign anyone. I can't see it, mate. I said, there's no way that new owners coming in and not signing no one. There's no way we won't sign no one.
Well, to be honest with you, mate. And thanks, Glenn, for the classic top message. By the way, I always wear this for this season because it's very similar to what the original kit that was originally based on. What David Moyes said the other day is a bit of an indication of what you were saying just before you sent me the request. That the deals are going to go on right till the end. Nothing's going to happen halfway through the month. We know that. It's been like that for donkey's years, even with bloody Redknapp. Well, Redknapp coined the phrase, wasn't it? Deadline day. He was always doing that stuff. But because what Moyes said is he said that there's a player that he wants to get, but he's not available till the summer.
Yeah, I think is Jonathan David.
I think to a degree, I kind of think it's lip service in the same way that you were saying that just wait and see what happens. January is always a very, very tricky time to get a player, because at the end of the day, you're only going to get fringe players who, let's be honest, aren't going to be good enough for that side. Not necessarily good enough for West Ham or not, but not good enough for that side.
Thank you very much, Duncan. That's very nice to say about me and John. Thank you.
Exactly. No, this is one of the reasons why I've come and chat to you guys, and hopefully once I get all my internet shit sorted out, I'll be doing this stuff as well, which I used to do a few years back. But no, as I say, just with the January transfer window, we're going to buy a fringe player. Is it really, really worth it? Except with the exception of identifying a player like how good we know Lingard's going to be, which again is not going to happen. Is it really worth taking the punt? I know we need, as I said in January transfer window thoughts. We need a left back. We need ideally two, one and a temporary cover for Krez while he's out for Gordon Bennett at some point until the season ends, I think. Centre back, 100%. Two strikers, a box-to-box midfielder.
We're obviously not going to sign all of them.
No, of
I know
course
what you're
not.
saying, though, mate. I know exactly what you're saying, though. Yeah, we need a big, not big overall players, but players that actually give Moyes an option. When he looks over to the bench, it's not, oh God, we've got to bring Yarmolenko on again. Oh, we've got to bring Masuaku on again. We just need, like I say, I want a striker to come in that we don't know about. Like you say, you could consider him a fringe player, but like a Sacco, no one knows about him, and then goes and scores 7 goals in 14 games.
A Demba Ba.
A Demba Ba, a Kiati, not Kiati, Kanuti.
Yeah. Kanuti,
No one knew about him.
Mate, I'd take Kouati as well. I'd take him 100%. I miss the bloke big time. And of course, we'll be seeing him in a few hours as well, because him and Tonks.
Exactly. Is there any names that you've seen that excites you, though? Like if we start with defence first, let's say the Akes, the Tarkowskis, the Nate Phillips. If you could get one of them, which one would be your most favourable?
Nathan Ake. I said it before he went to City. He's an unbelievably good centre back, which is the reason why City got him in the first place. My namesake, Phillips, I'm not really too keen on. I haven't seen enough of him. Tarkowski,
I do like
again,
him.
a very, very, very good player, but said he didn't want to move 2 seasons ago. Now we're looking at European football potentially again.
There are rumours
next
that
season.
his missus didn't like London as well. When he was, I think he was at Brentford, wasn't he? Before?
He was, and absolutely hated it. Apparently, they both absolutely hated it, and he said, "I'll never go to London again." And now he's now, because we're looking to be what we were trying to be 2-3 seasons ago. He is now up for it. That just screams the machismo of the league rather than the football club.
What about some of the German guys? Obviously, Ginter. I believe he's a German right back, and Suhl. I think I pronounced that right. Suhl, Bayern Munich centre back.
You've been watching Afterlife again, haven't you? To be honest with you, mate, the European players I don't really know about, because I don't really have the time to watch European football. Not as much as I used to when I was a kid. But so I can't really judge past comment on it.
If you play for someone like Bayern Munich, you're going to be half decent. You only have to look at like old Bonner coming from Juventus, for example.
Yeah. Oh God,
Juventus don't have crap centre backs play for them. Some of their centre backs are the best centre backs that have ever lived. So to go and get someone like that, I would be quite happy. Matt Rainey's put a few names here as well. I would love Luke Thomas and Antone Robinson.
I recognise Antone. Isn't he at Brentford? Wasn't he Brentford?
Fulham, I think.
Fulham, one of the two. Yeah,
Fulham. I think it's Fulham. Yeah.
He's a good player. It would be nice to make. I was about to say it'd be nice to make Fulham our feeder club, but then again, the debacle with Fredericks, unfortunately, bless him, not his fault in any shape or form.
No.
But yeah, no, there's a few players down in Fulham I'd take. To be fair, Matt Targett of Villa. Yeah, we were, as everyone knows, we were linked to him summer before last.
Ake is playing left back today for Manchester City. Well, they've got arguably the best left back in the Premier League in Cancelo, the best left back and right back in Cancelo,
and midfielders and defenders,
Yeah. Out of all the Pellegrini signings, why did we keep Yarmolenko but sold Anderson? In my opinion, Anderson did more. Anderson's doing fantastically well in Lazio as well. Let's give credit to him, same as Hollah. But I don't know. I just think Anderson down tools in the end, didn't he? And I quite liked him. I did. I'd give him a lot of time. I was there when he got that goal against Bournemouth, and I thought he's going to go.
I know, because that was the night I met you. Remember?
That's when you met. Yeah.
Yeah. Anderson's a bit of a Marmite player, in the same way that Payet was. I genuinely think he fell out with Moyes, which is the reason why the move happened. Not because of his talent. The talent's there. We all know it. It's just the fact. I just think he fell out with Moyes, and that was the reason behind it.
I thought he did work quite hard defensively, him as well. He seemed to do more defensively than he did attacking sometimes.
But he's always been inconsistent. I mean, the fans of what was the club we signed him from now? Who was it?
Lazio.
The Lazio fans were saying
he went back there.
that's true. Actually, no. Lazio fans were saying, "Be ready for the most inconsistent midfielder you've ever seen." Because he was, he'd have
mate.
2 great
Fantastic.
games and 3 shit
Unreal where he
games.
could lead a game by himself as well, didn't he?
Yeah, and then all of a
Southampton,
sudden,
Newcastle.
like Antonio does sometimes, like most of the players we have a lot of the time, they go hiding for 2 or 3 games. No disrespect to Antonio, but something's not right with him at the minute. But yeah, I think the reason why Yarmolenko's staying around is because A, what he does internationally, and B, I just think Moyes sees more on the training ground than he does when on match day.
Yeah, I can imagine
It has to be that.
He's the best at training, sort of thing.
Yeah,
he's such a good player at training. That classic line, and then when he gets on a pitch, he can't do it properly anymore. Because he was good when he first came. He was brilliant. He was brilliant when he first came.
Yeah,
he was. Right there, we move on to midfielders, mate.
Yeah, which quite nicely comes on to continue to talk about Yarmolenko quickly. It was a great player for us when we first came in, but the system's changed since then. That's the thing, and a good player would be adaptive. Like with Rice, we started out as a centre back. Antonio started out as a right back, and now is our highest ever goal scorer as a set.
I completely forgot that Mark Noble broke the record the other day as well. It was only that it was said on Match of the Day.
Well, no, he hasn't broken it. He's on par with. He's on par with it now. How funny would that be if in the Man City game, last game of the season at home?
Can you imagine it?
He gets a penalty. We get a penalty.
It'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
That'd be beautiful. That really would.
The name that shouldn't be mentioned, but I will ask you about it, mate. Jesse Lingard on his Instagram again, flirting with West Ham this morning. With the old pipe band on now. I don't know what's going to happen with this one. I really don't. But I'm not bothered if it doesn't happen. Let's say that.
Well, as we hinted at it a few minutes ago, mate. It's likely because obviously you're still a massive fringe player, even under the new manager and the next new manager, by the looks of things. So maybe we'll see him in the summer on a free, and he gets his £4 or £5 million signing on fee, whatever it's going to be. But I would take him now, 100%. Him and Antonio would link. We all know how well they link up together. Him and Vlasic and Fornals together as well, for that matter. Vlasic is. I'm so glad he got his goal against Watford. So glad.
Because I've been so patient with him. A lot of people have been slating him. I liked him.
It's the price tag. It's the price tag. If we bought him for $6 million, like we did with like Souček and Soufal and all the rest of it, no one would bat an eyelid. That's it. It's the FIFA generation, mate. It drives me insane. And you're the FIFA generation as well, which, by the way, you've stopped doing your previews now, haven't you?
No, do you know what? It takes so long. I am going to bring them back though, but they do take so long to do, and I'm not that good at it. And it winds me up.
You're better than me, mate. Trust me. No, it is. It's £30 million. Therefore, you should hit the ground running. No, it's the same thing with Fornals. Everybody wrote him off.
Well, I've seen glimpses of there's an Arnie vibe to him. He's not as good as Arnie, nowhere near as good as Arnie, but there's a vibe of Arnie there. The hold up play, he sort of uses his body well.
He's very fluid.
He will get better.
Very fluid.
Like you say, mate, with Fornals, it took time. It takes time. Yeah. Look at Ben Rama. He's
I'll be surprised if he doesn't start today, mate. I really do, because Palace, it's a 6 and 2 threes.
Who do you drop?
Well, this is it. I mean, obviously, because Fornals is still out with COVID. So basically, the Vlasic deal happened because Lingard deal didn't. Vlasic can play every single position that Lingard did. He can do centre forward. He can do attacking mids. You name it, he can do it in the attacking line. That's why it happened. But to a degree, in the same guys at Fornals is that perfect number 10 for us in the way that Lanzini was a few seasons ago. But that's the thing with Fornals out, and this being Ben Rama's last game before he goes off to the Africa Cup of Nations next week. It's the perfect time to properly bed him in.
Yeah, he's got a chance now, hasn't he? He's got a chance to be blooded in.
Big time.
Yes, definitely.
Big time.
I won't talk about strikers because it's boring, and I just want it to happen.
We've been doing it for 9 years straight, mate.
Exactly. Let's talk about some players. Actually, let's just go off the topic a little bit. So, Jared Bowen, mate, how good is this man? Do you think he will get an England call up? And let's talk about him. Talk about a few players that are doing good stuff in a minute for us.
No, I don't think he will. I don't think he will get an England call up. The only reason being is because don't get me wrong, it was great to see that he scored against Spurs. That Watford goal should have stood, etc., etc. But again, he's very much like Raheem Sterling. Should be finishing a lot more opportunities than
he hits the goalkeeper a lot, doesn't he? He does. That's what Paul says all the time in the chat. He goes, "It's the goalkeeper a lot."
You look at Bowen over the last 4-5 games. He's had about 2 or 3 chances and not scored in any of them bar 2. It's at least 10-15 chances, and he scored 2 or 3 out of that. That's a West Ham striker there, here and there, and it really, really is. But he's a fantastic. That's the only thing that's missing.
I've always said it. Craig Bellamy reminds me of.
Yes.
Very similar sort of work rate, doggy.
Yeah. Puts the ball in Rose Head in the same amount of times as well, for that matter.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. Another one. I just want to have a little discussion about him, mate. Manu Lanzini. A guy, I did admit it in the summer. I was going to get rid of him. I think he's done. Paul's favourite player. Me and him argue about it all the time. But I'll hold my hands up here, mate. For me, Manu Lanzini is one of the first names on the team sheet at the minute. I think, the way he holds the ball in tight spaces, that extra little bit of quality, links up well with the quality players. What has been your impression of Manu, since he's been back in, mate?
My only criticism of him, because it looks like we got the Manu of 2 or 3 seasons ago. Absolutely loving it. My only criticism is he still can't play out on the wing. He has to be central.
There's no way he can play on the wing now.
And that screws the system up, because Fornells can't play out on the wing properly. Vlasic, as Paul said last week, can't do it. He's better sometimes, but he can't do it. So we've got 3 players we should be having on the pitch, and we're struggling to have their right positions. As I say, Lanzini, he's more of an impact sub now. This is the thing.
It's a shame, because I wouldn't want to see him go now, and it's mad, because last summer I was like, oh yeah, get rid of him. But now it's like, actually, maybe there is a place for you actually in this team. There is. And
by the way, mate, we need to talk about your favourite player in a little while as well.
Oh, we can do that now. Go.
Because your attitude towards him's changed now. It's his last ever season, I've noticed, over the last few years.
Who, Mark?
Yeah.
No, my attitude's not changed.
Mate, you were I can't know. I love him, but no, he shouldn't be starting week in, week out, blah, blah, blah.
When did I say that? Never.
Mate, come on, go back and watch your videos. You have.
Never,
he's not my favourite player, but I can see why he starts, blah, blah, blah. And now it's coming up to the end of his career. It's like, yeah, Mark's actually pretty good.
No, mate. No, mate, the first video I ever made on this channel, I was slating Mark Noble off. And I know West Ham fans are going to throw pelters at me now.
That's what I'm saying. You've changed slightly. Now all the romanticism of his career and now he's retiring. You've kind of gone, yeah, he's all right now. But I'm just joking about, mate. But with Lanzini though, it is. I mean, Messi called him one of the best players he's played with in training. I mean, that's the answer you always need.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. Who's your half hammer of the season? I'll say Deck, Fornells, and Bowen are all top contenders. I don't think you can look beyond Declan Rice. I really don't. And that's not just me being like, I'll say keep Declan there and keep him
fanboy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Declan Rice is, every game is at least an 8 out of 10.
O'Connor was before his injury.
Mate,
it really was.
When he slips under that, we just think, oh wow, when he has a 7 out of 10, we think he's like having a really bad game. That's how good Declan Rice is.
Yeah,
been fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
I would have said Zuma's a good contender up until he had that strain as well.
Yeah, Cresswell had a great season as well. Again, till the injury.
What was it? Young hammer of the half season so far, Ben Johnson, 100%.
Yeah, mate, 100%. Been fantastic.
Really, he's my neighbour. He lives 2 or 3 rows houses down. I'm going to try and pounce on him one day and get
this comment's a good one, because we can have a little discussion about this. We played well last week. Dex and Souček scored. Gallagher scoring the goals. Now, mate, let's talk about this. Dex and Souček. It's that elephant in the room. Gonzo did that video the other day where we heard some rumours, that Souček wasn't happy with the role he was having in the team, and Declan Rice has obviously, gone on and become this sort of box-to-box Billy Bonds midfielder. Is this a problem that's going to carry on? Is this a problem where we could end up losing both?
Yeah, quite frankly, it is, because if it's not addressed, like for example, if they communicate with each other better, they give each other signals like, right, let me sit here, and I'll go, you go there, etc., etc. Like you're saying, like Billy Bonds used to do, used to give signals saying, right, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go there. Then yeah, it's gonna be to the detriment of the side. It really, really will be. I've got a funny feeling Moyes would have had that conversation with him after Watford.
It'll be very interesting to see what happens today. Actually, I think today we'll have some big signs on like where that's going to go.
Because even though we don't want to restrict decks in any shape or form, I really, really think that like for example, they have their own 10, 15 minutes of doing it each else. So rather than both of them just trying to do it at the same point, which is why we've had the issue.
What would you prefer though? Because I again, it's really, really, really difficult situation for David Moyes. This, I look at it at Declan Rice with end product. Does his runs, and this is really controversial, and people are going to go, "How dare you slag off Declan Rice?" Does his runs have enough end product? Is that down to him? Is that down to the players around him? You know, he goes on these runs, fantastic, brilliant.
Yep.
How many have led to goals? How many have led to assists?
Well, taking out the Europa League game, which
was a fantastic goal.
That was a one-off. We know that to a degree. That was a one-off. Yes, he does it for England. Blah blah blah. But again, as I've said numerous times, I think you and I have talked about it. It's the spacing and the timing and the anticipation that is missing from that. Because Dex is the only one that reads the game to maybe one or two passes ahead. That's why he looks so brilliant. You can see, right, that's going there. There's got, like Bobby Moore used to do, like Messi does, blah, 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 blah. That's the issue. That's the majority of the side will wait and see what happens. Dex is the only one that says, right, I'm going to do this run and get here by the time the ball goes there. That's the problem. Nobody's reading the game in the same way that Dex is.
So how do you say with him? What would you say? I think Dex needs to be told, or sort of what you said, mate, really already, like they need to take it in turns. There needs to be like a 15-minute period where, all right, Tom, you go. All right, Dex, you go. I don't know how you sold it.
Or even like for example, if both of them read the game and Dex goes, right, Tom, go for it. That sort of thing. Just, that
would a change of formation help as well? That's another thing that was suggested, where you sit free in midfield. So you could have Lanzini there, so that it sort of gives them a chance for one to go all the time.
To a degree, we do that anyway. Sometimes we do very briefly go to a 4-3-3. So it's definitely an option. The only problem is the fact that you're losing that attacking threat if you try and have Lanzini sitting back and to compensate for it.
It's hard, isn't it? It's hard.
It is. It's really never going to get fixed
really
unless we get like next level players, which is never going to happen on whatever budget we have in 4 or 5 years' time.
Yeah. Right. Let's talk about Palace quick, mate. And now I'm going to wrap it up because we're going for an hour.
Yeah.
So Crystal Palace today, mate. I'll tell you what. I'm going to turn into Gio. Yeah. So what players do you admire, JP?
He's Irish, is he?
No disrespect to him, he's a good lad. But yeah,
mate, if he watches this, he's going to fucking be all over you for that. He's not that much. He's not that far out on the. Well, he's not in Scotland anymore now.
No, he's not.
He's crossed the border, isn't he?
Yeah. Who do you like, mate, and who do you fear today?
Well, we've touched on it earlier. Gallagher puts the wind up everybody.
If he plays, if he plays today.
Jordan Ayew, of course, as well, for that matter. Louis Zaha, if we can get him all stropping like it was against Spurs. I keep calling him Louis Zaha. Wilfred Zaha. Louis Zaha. Why do I keep calling him that? I did that in the preview as well. I was like, what are you doing, you dick? It's again, like, it's the majority of them. One player that scares me the most, to be honest with you, mate, is Tonks, because when Palace are getting a corner or a free kick, he's always unmarked. I've noticed he's always unmarked. Yeah. He almost scored against us at London Stadium a couple of seasons back.
Czech is always a threat as well, isn't he, mate?
Yep.
Czech is always a threat in terms of height, and he is a good header of the ball. Czech, he was a great header for us. What do you want to see from us, mate? There's a lot of fears that Ben Johnson could still be carrying a knock, and then we see Masuaku. I think if I see Masuaku, I think we're going to lose. I genuinely do. That is how bad it is.
Agreed. No disrespect to the bloke, but he's a winger. He should not be playing.
He's becoming
in defence.
the Roberto on the pitch for me, where if he plays, we lose. We may as well say we're 1-0 down straight away. We need 2 goals at least to win this game if Masuaku starts. Oh, go away, these bloody trolls. Do my nutting.
But yeah, it's just that these things are just. It always happens, unfortunately, mate. What I want to see us doing, to be fair, is defending better, which takes Masuaku out of the equation, like you're talking about, because that's the biggest bugbear. When we went 1-0 down against Watford, I was like, here we go, Boxing Day all over again. Exactly. Very, very similar. It's just the spacing needs to be sorted out. Everyone needs to know. We need to be doing a lot more. Straight back four as well, for that matter. If you've noticed, we don't really.
We'd love a clean sheet today as well. We'd love a clean sheet.
Absolutely. Palace are really good at falling into the offside trap if we have a straight back four. We really do, but it's all over the bloody place. It's very difficult. But just intense, just the intensity that we saw against Watford.
Exactly, mate. Look at. I know Arsenal. I wouldn't say they were better than us, but the way Arsenal played against us. You need that, that just in your face all the time. That's when we were at our best.
They were Arsenal were terrible, but we were just 6 and 2.
We made them look better. 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. But as I said after the game, both of those Arsenal goals could have easily been sorted out in midfield, and it wasn't. It really
what
wasn't.
About just quickly? I know we're going back on another subject here, but Diop, mate, he's another one that's linked away. What about Diop? Would you, if we were to get 2 centre backs in, which I think this is talking in the summer, is he one you wouldn't be too disappointed in leaving?
Yes and no. Yes, I would be, because we all know his potential, but the problem is but no, because he hasn't lived up to that potential over the last few seasons. There's we seem to have a lot of players. Vlasic is a prime example of this as well. Where we need players that need an arm around them and boost up their confidence. Same with Bowen every now and again.
I was looking forward to seeing him play with Zuma.
Yeah,
I thought if you put him next to a better defender, he could bring his game on. And I'm not slating Dawson off. I'm not.
No, you're not. But you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
We need someone like you said, mate, to coach him through the whole game. Issa, you go, you don't go. I'll go. He needs a good leader next to him.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that Dawson's not, but I think Zuma and Oggy are completely different, different levels compared to Dawson.
Oh, 100%, mate, 100%. But you hit the nail on the head for the wrong reasons. That's the problem. It's the fact that we need a centre back like Dex was originally, that can take control and not have to listen to anyone else. Diop can't do that. Because if you'll notice. When he was playing alongside Bonner and alongside Zuma, the two of them were talking a lot, which is great. You need that, but at the same point, Diop's been with this club for a good few seasons now. And he came in with a great reputation for the under-23 side that he was playing for nationally and all the rest of it. But again, it's like with Masuaku with being the left back. If he hasn't learnt it by now, he never will. This is my issue with it.
I agree, mate. I totally agree. I'm just going to read a few comments out here before we wrap it up. We have to go there with confidence and put a fight in when you go to Palace. I think we'll win 3-2. Yeah, it usually is very high scoring. And as I said, usually as a world-class goal of the season in this game every year. So hopefully
from either side as well, because obviously remember Andy Carroll, Ayus, as you said earlier.
Hyatt's free kick as well was in the same game. We look back to what we have. Duncan, don't mention the rugby, blah, 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 blah. Anything else, mate? Quickly, I'll let you promote your channel. I'm sure you'll be doing a live stream later.
We'll be doing the watch along.
I'll be joining in the chat, as I always do.
And you better make sure that next Sunday, mate, we don't win against Leeds, because you've got some practice to do. It's going to happen, mate. Come on. We said we'll do under pressure if we get.
Mate, I will do it. I will do it, mate, as well. Happy New Year to all Emma's fans. And, on that, mate, go on.
Go on.
Go on, mate. No, go on. Say what you got to say.
All I was going to say was just literally, I'll be doing the live watch along. I'll be starting at 5:15 because it's a 5:30 kickoff. So come check us out. It'd be We're slowly but surely growing over the 2,000 subscribers. We've got 2016 now, which is fantastic. Honestly, mate, I wasn't joking when I said it in the video. 2.25 years. The August bank holiday of 2019 was when my channel hit 1,000 subscribers.
It's mad. I've been waiting for
one of the reasons
such
why
a long time, mate.
it is, mate, and one of the reasons for that was COVID, right?
Yeah.
Because my channel up until COVID was the only channel that was consistently doing away watch-alongs and some home games I couldn't do. And then, of course, everybody else did it, which is totally understandable. And of course, so everyone else went to other channels, which is perfectly fine. I haven't got an issue with it. And the same with you guys. I said you should have hit 4,000 before I hit 2,000. It's just the way it goes. Unfortunately, it's peak and troughs. It really is. But yeah, it'd be great to.
Matt Rowney says, JP, what was your highlight of 2021?
Oh, bloody hell, Matt. Talk about bloody ass question. What are we talking about? I'd probably say meeting Jules. That was a big highlight of Jules. Unfortunately, we broke up a few days ago. Sadly.
Sorry to hear that, mate.
Thanks, mate. Which unfortunately is the reason why I'm able to do the watch along this afternoon, because I was supposed to be over there for New Year's last night, and I was at home, unfortunately. But as I say, from a footballing point of view, there's way too many to narrow it down. It really is, because the highlight was, I suppose you could probably say, finishing the Europa League group with a game to go. I think I'd
agree with you on that, mate. I think,
obviously, getting into Europe in the first place was a massive highlight.
But after such disappointment in the Euros for so long, obviously England during the Euros as well was fantastic summer. Do you know what I mean? It was a great summer this year. Ghostbusters Afterlife not ruining my life. Do you know
what? Actually, mate, I'm glad you said that, because I watched it the other day, and as much as I love it, there's
holes in it. There's holes
big,
in it.
Mate, come on. It's got more holes in it than bloody Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with the new Matrix movie as well. And it's the reason why I've been getting bored with our football kits over the last few seasons. It's just too much nostalgia. It's ruining it. Really is ruining it. It's beautiful to see all those callbacks to the first movie. Don't get me wrong. Not going to do any spoilers for a lot of people.
Yeah, no, but I know what you're saying. There's no fresh ideas in Hollywood anymore. Do you know what I mean? There's not.
The only fresh idea about it was seeing Spengler at the end.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, no spoilers though. No spoilers.
No. Oh, mate, everybody knows it, but I
thought the actress was very good, though. The young girl was fantastic. I thought, for a young girl acting, she was fantastic.
Even that, her older brother, the guy from Stranger Things, he was really irritating at the start of the film, and you kind of warm up to him after a little bit. And that podcast kid as well, for that matter, was admin hysterics. He really is a funny character.
But I watched No Way Home for the 4th time yesterday. I still love it. No Way Home is one of the best films I've seen this year. They're unbelievable. But I'm a massive Marvel geek, so I get weird noises when things happen in Marvel films.
And when you score a goal on your FIFA previews as well for that. Afterlife and Matrix Resurrections are getting a lot of criticism at the minute, because they're expecting them to be in the same way that the previous films were, and they're not. They're brand new versions of the way of telling the story, which that side of it I really, really love. I mean, I love the fact that that there's it completely goes back to the ethos of what was going on. But as I said, there's loads of holes in it, but it was very, very moving, especially bearing in mind that it's coming up to the anniversary of when we lost Dad to cancer. That's coming up in a few days. Yeah. So that had that extra balance for me on top of it. That was a very, very emotional ending.
Yeah. I think we'll leave it there, mate. Thank you so much.
Leave it on a high A. Huh? Leave it on a high A.
Actually, just very quickly, a prediction, mate, for you. Obviously, probably it is in your preview anyway, but just...
I don't do predictions in my previews. I always get it wrong. I would love to get 3 points over Palace. I really, really would, just for being in the leading positions and coming back to
if the Arsenal result goes our way as well.
Yeah, but my head is saying it's very possible going to be a Desmond. It really is going to be a 2-2. God rest his soul. But
I think it's a classic for that game as well, mate. A 2-2. don't know.
To
God
be
rest
honest,
his soul. God
to be
rest his
honest
soul.
with you, mate, now that we are halfway through the season, I don't agree with everybody getting really pissed off with the way things are going. Yes, in the game by game basis, yeah, there's there's
Game by
loads
game,
to
yes.
talk about. But when was the last time we were still in the top 6 in January? Going into January, I should say.
And
Do you know what I mean?
for 2 seasons in a row,
Yeah.
there's a good chance that we'll be safe by February.
Mm.
For 2 seasons in a row, that's progress. I'm sorry. I want to
It
become
is,
a club that
100%.
doesn't have to fear relegation anymore.
Yeah.
That for me is progress.
I mean, this is the 11th season in the Premier League ever. We've never done a decade before. That in itself is progress. So, but yeah, it is. It's just. I do. Obviously, of course, I want to see a win. Everybody wants to see a win. I mean, you don't go to a football game, with the exception of having a depleted squad, and you're playing Man City at home when it's on Sky Sports. You know what's happening on that.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just we had, like you said, mate, 4 seasons ago, we had way more to complain about than we have now.
Yeah. Exactly, mate. Right, we'll end it there. Big thank you to JP for joining me off the cuff. It's always great to have him on. Until next time, guys, please go and check JP out. His watch-alongs are really good. And I was going to credit him. I just forgot there. Your graphics at the minute, mate, are incredible. Like all the stuff you're doing. I think actually your one is some of the best graphics at the minute. I really do. That's not me blowing smoke up your ass. I do, because I pop in and out of every one of them. Like I go to West Ham Fan TV and then I pop in your one. Your one's the best one because you interact with the chat more. And that's what I like.
And it's not just that as well. I mean, even if I'd have known about the system I found last year when I started doing the watch alongs, I would have been doing it right off the cuff. Because basically what I always wanted to do is replicate being at the ground for those at home. So
I love the goal thing as well. Like obviously the last watch along when it was when we conceded, weren't it? The goal comes
put it up all the time.
Goal,
yeah,
brilliant. It's brilliant. It's getting better and better every video, mate. Honestly,
because I wanted to try and replicate being. I mean, obviously we have that to a degree at the London Stadium and all the rest of it, but and my previews as well. I have an intro with it. I have the team sheet graphics like it is on Sky, like Sky Sports. All the players move into positions and all the rest of it. But yeah, it's the whole point. The whole point of it was to replicate being at the ground as much as possible, which is why you have halftime music. It changes if we're winning, losing, drawing. There's, like you say, there's graphics. There's the scoreboard up the entire time, so everybody knows exactly what point of the game I'm on. And even the software that I use, it's brings how many shots each team have had as well, so I can put that in there.
It's very well presented, mate. I have to say, it
costs a fucking fortune every year, but it's
but it's fantastically presented. I've got to give you credit there, mate. It's very well done. Now. Right, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much, guys. Until next time, please hit the like button. It does us a favour. It looks good as well. At least the dislike button ain't there anymore because that used to wind me up. At least I can't see who dislikes my videos anymore. Enjoy the game. Let's go and watch the Man City Arsenal game now and hope that result goes for us. Until next time, come on, you irons. Keep believing. Let's go.
Cheers.
Hey,